Hopefully you guys can see me. Let's see here. Here we go. Hey, you guys, this is Fabio Hart coming back with another live video. In this video, I'm gonna go on kind of into the way I do like my walkthroughs. Okay, so you guys kind of know through a lot of my older videos, you kind of know some of the steps or the ways that I go through some of the I guess scripts that I kind of gave you guys, and I have to be absolutely 100. I generally go over this in like the coaching and stuff like that, but I feel kind of generous. I'm gonna kind of give you guys like the new way that I do, and it's really not new. I'm probably not the only one that do it, but it's like the way that you do it. Okay, guys. So what I want to talk about in this video is how I really go. Hey, how's it going, Leslie? How I really go through my walkthroughs, qualify, and set the tone for the numbers, the estimate, the bid. That's what everybody needs, right? They need a Fabio, how to bid, how to, do the walkthroughs, why I'm not getting callbacks and different things like that. Okay. Now it's a twofold, so pay attention to me, guys. It's a twofold because we're going to talk about from the stand of them calling you. So let's say they find you on Google or they find you however they find you, they see your advertisement or whatever the case is. And we're going to talk about in the event, hey, how's it going, Ricardo? We're going to talk about in the event that you call them. Okay, so I want you to pay attention. You might want to take notes here because it's going to be a lot of valuable information here. Okay, so uh, new cleaning. Hello from Taiwan. Learned a lot from you. Thanks a lot, Jace. I greatly appreciate you. So here's the deal, guys. And it's a little different. Like if you watch some of my older videos, you're gonna say, "Wow, it's different the way he does it now than the way you used to do it." And in business, things are gonna happen, right? So that doesn't mean the old way doesn't work. It still could work for you guys. But the thing is you always want to find a way to get a better stand on things. You want to find a way to kind of get over the hump a little bit better, to get in there, to qualify yourself, to be able to put the numbers in. So many people before my coaching, they'll say, well, Fabio, I listened at your videos and I watch your videos. I went through it. I wrote a lot of things down, and why it works, a lot of things that don't happen for me, they don't call me back, or we play phone tag, or we back and forth and we shoot emails and things like that. And I kind of wonder, like, well, why is this happening to them and it don't necessarily happen to me? I'm not saying it never happened to me. It hardly ever happened to me, right? I'm a little bit more seasoned. I kind of got a little bit sauce to it, right? So that's what I want to kind of cover right here. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about in the instinct of them calling you. Now, I like it when they call me opposed to me when I have my lead people doing my lead generation and making the calls, right? When I have to look for them. When they contact me, it's like bread and butter at that point, because at that point you already know that they're looking. You just have to find out what they're looking for. And that's what I like to call qualifying. You have to qualify them, right? So when they call you, they're looking for a new cleaner. You want to qualify them because you want to see what they're looking for, what they need, why they're looking for a new cleaner. All of those things are factors, okay? All of those things are factors. Now, I don't like to linger over the phone too much, right? Because that's set up, I just don't. I rather kind of talk to them face to face. So let me see, I'm here, got my first conference. I'm really nervous. Yep, you got it, Janelle. You're going to get it. Train of thought. I like when they contact me, right? So I don't like to stay on the phone with them too long. Most people say, "Hey, you want to stay on the phone with them pretty long." Not most, but a lot of people has told me that, Fabio. Well, I disagree with you there. I kind of stay on the phone with them and qualify them, and it's good that you want to qualify, right? But you don't need 20 minutes to qualify them. Me personally, I don't personally believe that. Now you might need that in person, but you don't necessarily need to sit on the phone with them. Now this is when they're calling you, right? You do need to get a little intel. You need to get a little information from why you're looking for a new cleaner. What's going on? Can you tell me a little bit about your business? How did you hear about me? All of these are things that you would want to say to them to qualify them, see if you're a good fit. Now, what I don't tell you guys on the videos, because I want to see a lot of you guys shine, and in the beginning stages, I know how much or how important it is to get contracts, right? Just to feel accomplished that you got a contract. What I don't tell you guys is, because I don't want to discourage you, is I don't take everything that call me or that I go after, right? It's a certain way that I qualify for before I even go out and do a bid or do a walkthrough, right? I need to make sure that we a great fit, right? And there's another thing that I don't tell you that I tell most of you. If you're on my coaching, you're probably nodding your head like, yeah, I remember telling me that, right? It's another thing is there's a minimum base that I'm going to take, right? I feel like I've grown at a astronomical rate, right? I feel like I'm just at a different level. So let me see, closing another franchise account at time to take it cover off of the city last. Oh, okay. That's very good, Anthony. So here's the thing. So like I said, this is once they call you, I feel like you have the upper hand, right? Now that's not a guarantee that you would get the contract because if they called you, guess what? They probably called somebody else too, right? So that's why I say you have to qualify them. Just because they called you, you need to make sure that you're a good fit. And what I mean a good fit, you need to make sure that this will be a client that you will perhaps want to clean for. Okay. And you do that through qualification, through qualifying them. So that's when you ask them, why are you looking for a new cleaner? What happened with your old cleaner? How did you hear about us? You want to get just a little information. Okay. Get a little information. And then the object of the game at this point, this is my personal opinion because it worked for me. Like I say, other people might tell you different, is that you want to set them up on a booking to do a walkthrough. This is what goes on in the my realm of doing things. Okay, when we accepting calls in, when we got inbound calls, right, where they coming in. Okay, so once I identify, what type of company it is, I ask the questions that I need to ask. I'm taking notes at the same time, right? Or my people or whomever that's handling the call, taking notes at the same time. We qualifying them. Once we see like, okay, this could be a company that we would like to do. Like me, I like bigger accounts. Like I say, it's a minimum base that I accept. Now, I don't want to tell you guys what that minimum base is because I don't want you to feel like you have to go with my numbers, okay? But let's say hypothetically, you might say, well, I need a contract and the contract have to be at least $1,000, right? Now, if the contract is, let's say, I don't know, 750, 800, 900, it's pretty close. But if let's say that's $500, and you say, well, no, I can't do it for that, you can have that base like that minimum that you need to make, and that's a start for you to see if they even qualify, based on what it is that they need done and what they're looking for, how many days and all of that type of stuff. Now this is coming in on the inbound. Let's not lose track here, okay? Inbound call, okay? You want to qualify them. You want to set it up where you can go in just as soon as possible, right, to do the walkthrough. And then you're just going to do a little bit more. You're going to reiterate kind of what you talked about over the phone, get more details. And at the same time, you're going to walk around the facility. This is once you go to the building. This is on the inbound call. Okay. You go to the facility, you do your walkthroughs, you ask questions, and then you shut up. You ask questions and you be quiet. You ask questions and then you listen. So many of you guys are trying to sell everything under the sun because you're just so excited to even be in the facility. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. When you do most of the talking, you're losing at that point. Okay. That's just my personal opinion. Again, it's my personal opinion. I've done that. As you guys can see, I could talk my ass off, right? And I've done that and I've lost deals. I haven't gotten it, right? But once I learned to ask questions, be quiet, and take notes, it worked a little bit more favorably for me. Okay. Me, what I like to figure out while I'm at the facility, guys, and this is how I really craft my bid. Okay. This, and this is from inbound and outbound. So you're probably going to hear me repeat this stuff. This is really how I craft my bid. Okay. I hit all the pain points that they have. Why you're looking for a new client or a new cleaner. Have you called any other companies? Have you had any other companies do walkthroughs, over the last week or so, whatever the case, the last 30 days, right? What are you looking for? You want to get all of that information. Okay. You take it down. Remember, ask questions and be quiet. Okay. Let them tell you. You want them to pain their guts out to you, right? Because again, when they're telling you what's going on in their facility and why this company isn't working out, or they just tired of just doing it in-house. Some companies you might go to, they say, well, we don't need a cleaner, we do it in-house. So one of the pain moves that they might have is they just sick and tired of doing it themselves, right? They tired of it. They just ready to hire somebody. Okay. Like I say, you craft it around that pain stuff. Yeah, you want to be jotting this stuff down at the same time. This is what I do when I go in. Okay. I know I'm charismatic. I can speak well and that type of thing, the tonality, my gestures and body language, all of that stuff, kind of play a part. It just come natural for me. But like I say, once you figure out their pain, what's paining them in their building, whether they're cleaning it, whether they're just sick and tired of the company, whether the company isn't doing whatever the case is, they're not cleaning the bathrooms, they're not cleaning the kitchen area, whatever the case is, right? The same thing works for residential, by the way. Again, like I say, I talk a lot about this. Once mentioned properly. I'm gonna get to you guys' questions in a minute because I don't really want to lose my train of thought. I really wasn't expecting to go live, but uh, I always get some type of emails and different things that prompt I'll say, hey, I need to get this out now. Okay, so you go there. Okay, you go there after qualifying. You qualify them over the phone. Now, me, like I say, I don't accept everything that calls, into my office. That call into Tilly. I don't accept everything, right? If I feel like it's a good fit, only then I will set up something or have my people set up something for us to go out and do a walkthrough. Okay. Only then. So just because it's coming inbound, right? In other words, they calling me, they found me, however they found me, seen advertised, whatever the case is, and they calling me doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go out and do a walkthrough. Okay. Because we might not be a fit. Okay. That's why you need to qualify them over the phone before you even go out. Okay. Um, you can let them know that your company have just a minimum that you look for in being hired by a company, and that minimum base is whatever you set that minimum base as, right? So, like I say, using $1,000 an example, this is what you can tell them over the phone after listening to them and this and this and that, right? Um, I would rather set the tone over the phone and Jesus Christ. 1 second, guys. Let me shut it off. Let me shut that phone off. Okay, so this is what you can ask them over the phone. Okay, you can ask them this stuff over the phone because I would rather know up front if we're a good fit for one another, right? Opposed to just going out there wasting my time. You spend 30 minutes doing a walkthrough, 45 minutes doing a walkthrough, and it's just a waste of time. It's not a good fit, right? Price range, you're up here, they're down there, you're two, whatever the case is. Okay. Like I say, if you kind of do it the way and I train you on this stuff more consistently in the coaching. That's why I tell people it's important, why I feel it's important, because you can hear this more and more. Okay. I can kind of get knee deep in it with you. Okay. So that's on the inbound coming in. Okay. So you want to qualify. Once you qualify, then you set up the appointment. Okay. Once you qualify, you set up the appointment to go out and you do your walkthrough. It's the same thing once you call them. You still need to qualify them because in essence, you still need to make sure that once again, that you're a good fit. So this is when your outbound team is making the calls outbound, or whether you call and you're doing outbound calls or whatever the case, you have marketing pieces out there in the atmosphere somewhere. Still, you want to qualify them. Okay. You want to qualify them and make sure that you guys are a perfect fit. And the only way you're going to do that is by asking those questions. Okay. Why you're looking for a new cleaner, for an example. How did you hear about us? Have you had other companies give you any offers? Are there any offers on the table? Don't be afraid to ask that. Now, what I like to tell people on my coaching is that really my bid is structured at the walkthrough. My bid is structured at the walkthrough because I generally find out what their budget is. Okay. And if I'm gonna get to you, O'Neill. I promise. I'm gonna get to you. My bid is normally structured at the walkthrough. Okay, so Fabio, what do you mean by it's structured at the walkthrough? Do that mean you just give them numbers? Why you there? Why you doing it? That's not what that means. Okay, while I'm there, again, I already qualify them, right? So at some point they fit within the rim of the type of business that I would want to clean for, which is while I'm there. I'm going to ask questions, as I said, and be quiet, jot down, take notes, right? And lastly is when I want to talk budget. So once I figure out what they want, I let them pour their guts out. Again, remember I was talking about pain, right? You want them to really paint it out to you. What's bothering them? Why they hiring a new company? Why they even called you? Or why they even allowed you to come through after your people called them, depending on how how you went in, right? Whether it was an outbound or whether it was an incoming inbound call, right? So you want them to paint it out, because this is where it's going to come through for your bid for when it's time to do your numbers. Now, me, like I tell some of you guys on the coaching, is I don't have a problem with asking them if they have a budget, right? Or what they're currently paying. Sometimes they won't tell you. A lot of times they won't tell you, right? If they don't tell you, well, what they're currently paying, you can ask them, well, do you have a budget? Okay. Sometimes they say, well, I don't know if I have a budget, or I don't know what the budget is, or I'm not the one that's over that. You say, hey, okay, that's fine. In all fairness, if you were looking to hire a company today, be it us or anybody else, what would you want to pay? What do you think would be a fair price that you should pay on a monthly basis, right? Somehow, some way, some fashion, some form, I get the number out. Okay, that kind of gives me an idea, and I can craft it around that number. Okay, I can craft it around that number. Okay, so again, if you're going out there, you do your walkthrough, you take your notes, you listen to them. Okay, you listen, don't overtalk them, don't interrupt them. If you got a question and you need to jot it down real quick, jot it down, but don't interrupt. It's rude. It's just not professional. Don't interrupt. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Jordan? So you don't interrupt them. You jot it down. You take as many notes as possible. We need this done. We need that done. And then you go into the pain, right? You want their pain to be bubbling up. Why they're looking for what's going on. Why you're looking for a new cleaner, right? This is some of the questions you would want to ask them. You want to get knee deep in the pain, right? They'll tell you why. Well, we don't like this cleaner. They do a terrible job, or whatever the case is. Now, when they tell you that, don't be the type of company to say, oh, we're better than them and we're the best in the area, whatever the case is. Just, yes, ma'am, I totally understand. Yes, sir, I totally understand. Right? You nodding, you kind of agree with them, you taking notes, right? You don't want to kind of shit on the competition. It's never professional, like especially in our business, to do that, right? So they can do it, you can't do it. Because right now they're digging in their guts. They're telling you what's wrong and why they're looking for a new company right now. Why they even called you, or why they even allowed you to come in if you called them, right? These are things that I know, okay? And again, I talk mostly, you probably don't even hear me talk this way on the videos a lot of times, but these are the type of conversations I have on my coaching, okay? But I wanted to put that out there. Now, I craft my bid right there based upon whatever it is that they looking to charge, right? So if they say, well, we're looking to, pay $2,000 a month, right? I could come in at $2,000. I could come in a little under $2,000, right? But I have an idea at that point. I know not to go $3,000 or $2,900, right? Because their budget, they already said was $2,000. Okay. So this is why I'm not gonna say I get everything, because I don't want to seem like that, because I'll be lying to you. But this is why I get a lot of the appointments, especially the bigger contracts. I love the huge contracts like this. I get between 10 to 15 grand, not 100, 10 to 15 grand a month, this one contract, right? This building, this facility here. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. So when you go into industrial buildings, and I love plants, I love industrial buildings, I love big commercial, I love medical facilities, but I kind of shied away from it a little bit. I have to be honest with you. We still go after those smaller to medium sized, but I love the bigger guys, because that's what drive the revenues up. Okay. And then as I stay in them and clean, and I show and prove, right? Then if I notice they need a carpet cleaning, that's where I tell you guys I upsell them. I notice they need a window cleaning, I upsell. This is down the line. I'm kind of getting away from it. I'm just giving you guys a visual of how I drive my revenues up and how I really get in these contracts. Okay. Do you do post construction? Not really. I have, but those not. It's a lot of money in it too. You can do it. It's a lot of money in post construction, but I have done some, but not a lot. Right? I don't kind of go after the post construction. Okay. So I love easy to clean facilities like this. Like I love the carpeted buildings. Like when you walk in, you're like, damn, what need to be clean? Like I love those facilities that just look all already clean. Like it's not a lot of work to do. It's dusting, the real general cleaning. I love those sites. And then I could charge them like this place as an example, right? It's not a lot to clean. The first time we cleaned, and maybe the first 2 weeks or so, is a big facility. We had to really bring it up, right? We had to bring it up to code. Now it's just upkeeping, right? So now for me, I feel like we're not doing a whole hell of a lot of work. I mean, we work, we do what we're supposed to do, but it's just upkeeping at that point, right? We don't have to do a deep clean because we didn't have the facility so long. Okay, so I'm kind of getting away, but like I say, I craft the bid. Let me get back on point here. I craft the bid right there at the walkthrough. Right there at the walkthrough, I ask them if they have a budget. Sometimes they favor because they don't want to really talk numbers. I try to get it out of them. It's some way, fashion, and form. They're going to give me a number. They're going to give me a number, and it's the way you kind of come off. If you seem kind of pushy, you just going in, you're just thinking about the numbers. They might not be so open and honest with you. you know, like if you ask them, well, do you have like a between range that you're looking to pay? Maybe between, as an example, $1,000 to $2,000. They might say, yeah, you don't say that, but you ask them if they have a between range, and they might say, yeah, we looking kind of between $1,000 to $2,000, somewhere from 1 to 2, anywhere in between there. That gives you an idea, right? So based on what you just did at the walkthrough, you can kind of say in yourself, by the end of, well, based on your budget, right, and based on the nature of what you need done, based on the walkthrough, this is going to be a little bit more than $2,000. I just want to be honest with you, because this is considered extra cleaning, or this is what I like to call an extended cleaning. They want the window sills, they want the air vents clean, or they want the fans, or whatever the case is. It's going to be a little extra. That's generally not considered general cleaning, right? That don't mean you can't do it. It's just generally not general cleaning. Just the wipe downs and the keyboards and the desks and the mop and the vacuum, that type of thing. So when you got what I like to call extended cleaning, you're going to charge a little bit more, and you just want to be able to convey that. Don't be afraid to tell a client that it's not a good fit, and don't be insulted or feel a certain way if they tell you that it's not a good fit just based on how much you guys charge. Thank you for your time. I don't think we're a good fit. Either or, just be open to that, guys. This is why I get myself into these contracts, okay? Because I'm very frank and I'm very direct. I don't go in timid. I don't go in nervous. They people just like me. We cut our hands. We're gonna bleed the same color. The only thing different, perhaps, is our blood type, but we're gonna bleed the same color, right? So again, pay attention to what they need. Make sure you jot it down. Again, my bid in my head is already done in the account right there, right? Because once I know what their budget is, I can then go back to the home office and I can craft it around that, and then I generally get the contract. Okay, so that's what I wanted. That's mainly what I wanted to say to you guys. Also, another thing, guys, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. When you qualifying them over the phone, via you call them or they call you, before you even go out, you want to set some type of rule. What I mean by that is you want them to have a open schedule, a open time slot for you to go and do the walkthrough that's uninterrupted. That's uninterrupted. You want them to have an open time slot. Okay. Again, I don't talk a lot about this on my video because you hear me say some stuff I leave for the coaching. So I talk a lot about this stuff on the coaching, which is why it's so valuable. Okay. This stuff right here can really change you if you just listen to it, keep doing it, right? You're not going to get everything, because I don't, but you keep, it's part of your system. You keep doing it, you perfect it, you get a little better at it, and you'll start picking up contracts. I swear to God, you start picking up contracts. Okay, but you got to keep doing it. But again, to qualify, you want to set some type of rules. Okay, and you want them to have an open time slot so when you come through, it's uninterrupted. You don't need them having to go on lunch break. You don't need them having to be on go to a meeting. You don't want them to rush to walk through, because if they rush to walk through and then you give them a number based on a rush walkthrough and then you get hired, based on that, and then they say, well, you didn't do this. You say, well, sir or ma'am, that wasn't part of what you said to do, right? Well, I need you guys to do that. That's the problem that I had with the last company. Again, you need their undivided attention when you're there. You get that over the phone. You let them know, hey, please have at least such and such a time frame available for us. Okay. We want to make sure we serve you. It's all about you. Okay, you are the priority, so we want to make sure that we serve you, and we don't want to have any cracks, in armor anywhere. We want to make sure that we serve you, and we need that time slot open, so therefore you can tell us what needs to be done, and then we can go ahead and put everything in perspective, put things together for you guys. Okay, again, try to get the number out of them however you do it. Ask them several different ways. You do it almost like a car dealership does, or like an insurance agency does. Somebody trying to sell you some type of insurance, right? Do it. You can do it the same way. You can ask them, hey, by the way, Tom, do you guys have a monthly budget? Do you have a monthly budget? They say, well, I don't know what the budget. I'm not in charge of that. And you say, okay, great. Well, let me ask you, Tom, if you was to hire a company today, what would be a fair dollar amount on a monthly basis that you would be willing to pay, Tom? Um, I don't know. I'm thinking about this and that, right? Okay, so again, he tell you whatever he tell you. Okay, now in your head, you already have a set dollar amount, a minimum that you need to make per contract. Okay, this could be a small building, a medium-sized building, or a factory to this capacity, right? Or an industrial building, or whatever the case is. Again, when you get that number there, you then go back home and craft your number around that number. This is how I feel. Okay. Again, I don't care what any other channels say, because again, I tell you all the time, there's no right or wrong way to do it. This is just how I normally get a lot of the contracts, especially the smaller to medium sized contracts. This works perfect for that. Okay. This works perfect for that. If you go in there, you use this format that I'm telling you, you qualify them over the phone. They say, well, same thing with the residential guys. You get residential people. We don't do calls out on residential. Most of my residentials come in through word of mouth or through Facebook. So we don't do, cold calls to them. So they mostly call us. It's inbound. It's another strategic method that I won't mention here, that I always mention on my coaching, that I use to get residential accounts. It comes in, you qualify them the same way. If it's a minimum that you need to make, then you make sure you meet that minimum criteria. You make sure you meet that minimum. Okay. If you can't meet that, do not be afraid to tell a homeowner or tell a business, I'm sorry, I don't think that we are perfect fit. Just based on the numbers and based on what you need done, we will have to make at least X, Y, and Z for this to make sense for us. Okay. I do it all the time, right? I do it all the time. Here's another thing that I normally don't speak on. You're not gonna hear me. You haven't heard me say this on any video. What I used to do and what I do now in regards to, once I put the bid in, the bid is only in for 30 days. Now, if you watch some of the old videos, I told you guys that you can, tell them that that you would give them credit for that bid, somewhere down the line. Remember, you normally hear me say, well, is it okay if I try back within 3 to 4 months, or, the first quarter or the next quarter of the year, or whatever the case is, when you do your follow-ups after they done told you no, and I give you credit for that bid that I put in. Okay. Again, I've changed since then, because in 3 to 6 months, or whatever the case is, things could change. Minimum wage can change. A lot of things could change. The inflation and just in the marketplace can change. A lot of things could change. So you let them know that number, and that's a good thing, because it allowed them to think and make and take action really quick, right? So you have that 30-day window, so they have the numbers in, and you let them know, okay, this is the best that we can do based on what you need done. What we talked about, whatever the case is. This is the estimate right here. This is the best that we need done. this is the best that we can do based on what you need done. I'm sorry. Okay. And you just let them know that this will be for 30 days. Then after that, we have to reevaluate, the whole deal again. Okay. And then you go back out and do the walkthrough one more time. If they say, well, they 30 days go by, whatever the case is, even though you've been in the facility, you know what they need done, you want to go out again because they might have added something different to the list that they didn't add the last time. You just need to make sure before you give them the numbers again that it makes sense, right? You don't want to just assume based on what you went through before. Okay. Also, you still can, if you're offering special deals, right? If you got specials or what I call irresistible offers and that type of thing, you can let them know, hey, well, great. Based on the size of this building, we generally need to make X, Y, and Z on a contract of this capacity, a contract this size, and based on the workload that need to be done. But we are offering a special, for people that's ready to go, that take action right away and decide to hire us. We're offering 20% off of first month billing, whatever the case is, right? 15%, 25% off of the first month billing. I don't know, 15% off of the third month billing, right? Whatever the case is, you can give them some type of little jazzy little offer that'll make them take action, whereas they still hire you on, you still making money, but you just have to remember to give them credit for that third month billing. Okay, because that's why they did it. Another thing that I like to do is offer free carpet cleaning. I say if you decide to keep us for the entire year, you're up for free carpet cleaning for your facility, or you can offer window cleaning. Now, this is where, because I've had people, for an example, guys, I've had people that had big office space, right? And when they think of what the cost of it might be, they might be like, shit, I don't want to pay for this, right? But if you look at it from the perspective that I look at it from, you've been made that money through the course of the year, right? You made that money through the course of the year. So by the time the end of the year, you've made a substantial amount of money that you can honor that carpet cleaning job, right? It's just going to be that one-time carpet cleaning job. Now, you don't want to bait and switch. Don't say free carpet cleaning, and then the first of the year come around and you're trying to charge them. All right, don't do that, because they're going to remember that and they're just going to let you go, and it's not worth it being let go for that. Okay, so you make sure you just have to manage those dollars. See, when I offer a carpet cleaning with one site, I'm still making money at 12, 15, 20, 25 other sites, over the bounds of 3 states, right? Georgia, Michigan, Ohio, right? So I'm still making that revenue up on a massive, on a larger scale, which is to be a little bit different than you guys. Now, I won't tell you to go into it doing that, but as you get the building, your revenues up, you get to getting more contracts, then you can offer these type of deals, right? Because you got more revenue coming in, right? So it's nothing for you to go ahead and source that out to one of your vendors or to one of your whatever I'm looking for, contractors, right? To go ahead and source that carpet cleaning job out if you're not particularly fond about doing carpet cleaning yourself, right? And then boom, have them do it. You get the credit for it because it's your job. You make sure they get paid for it, right? And then boom, you're right back on your monthly, cleanings. Okay, guys. So again, like I say, this is why coaching and putting systems together is very, very important. This is why I found it a must that I go live tonight. I may or may not go tomorrow. I still, thinking about going tomorrow, but I did want to get this out today because I don't necessarily talk this way on Facebook, on YouTube, on the lives or on the videos and different things like that, because there's certain stuff that I like to say for the coaching, because believe it or not, the vast majority of stuff that I say here on YouTube, people they hear it, but they don't apply it. They don't execute. So they don't get the result. And I feel like when you pay me for this information that I would typically put on a coaching call, people tend to go ahead and take action on that because they've already paid me $1,000 or $500 or $900 for it. So they're like, I'm going to go ahead and do something with it, which is why a lot of people that go through my coaching make their investment back. A lot of them do. The only way you don't do it is you don't execute, you don't listen. You take the notes, I help you build the system, help you put it together, and you don't listen, you don't get the results. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that, right? So again, I have mentors too. They impute information in me, but I pay them on like a monthly retainer. I pay them on a monthly basis. So why am I going to keep paying them if I'm going to talk to them? They're going to give me information or tell me about a certain investment or tell me about other things, and I'm not going to even inquire about it. I'm not going to even pick up the phone and call the guy that they told me to call about investment opportunities and different things. I mean, I literally have my coaches or mentors give me, hey, call this guy, tell him I sent you. Why would I just take this guy number when he's telling me how I can have my money make money for me, right? My money to make money for me. And he give me the number and I just store the number in my phone. I don't fucking call the number, right? So now I'm wasting his time. I'm wasting his resources. I haven't even applied anything that he said. Dude, it's the same thing when I talk to you guys. Okay. Now I have an unorthodox way of doing it, right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. If I tell you something and it doesn't work, that don't mean I'm wrong. And it just, I don't know what I'm talking about. That particular thing just didn't work for you. But I got 5, 6, 7 other things that could work for you if you just apply pressure, if you just execute. Okay, so that's why it's paramount that you guys listen to this again. If you need to watch this live back, I would suggest that you watch this because I've hit a lot of home runs. Again, I really wanted to talk to about the basis on how my bids are structured. My bids are structured right there in the facility on the walkthrough, mentally, because I've already gauged. I've already got some type of number from them. However I do it, I already got some type of number for them. I already know if I'm going to be able to clean this contract before I walk out the building, or if I'm not going to be able to clean this contract. You know, now if he give you a number, she give you a number, you can ask him, is that number pretty flexible? Because based on what you need done and based on like kind of your budget, we're probably about $500 under, right? We put in more like $500 on top of this. We right in the right ballpark, or we about $200 more. We'd be in the right ballpark based on what you need done, and you just convey that. Do not be afraid to walk out of there with not getting the contract based on the workload, based on the number of days, based on what they need done, right? Based on your numbers. If they're not a good fit, you let them know, hey, I don't believe that we're going to be a good fit. And don't be offended or feel some type of way if they tell you, hey, you're just a little too much, right? Where I don't think we would be a good fit, Fabio. Based on what you need as a minimum, thank you for your time, but based on what you need for a minimum, I just don't think we're going to be a good fit. Okay. You ask them about their budget. Is they're usually honest? Sometimes they do lowball it. Sometimes they do lowball it, and that's where you let them know. Unfortunately, because sometimes they'll say, "Well, the last company did it for X, Y, and Z." You say, "Wow, you got a great deal on that." But see, based on that pain, we're going back to that pain when they was telling you how bad this last company. See, it probably could have been because of the budget is so low. You probably gave them that figure or whatever the case is, right? You don't necessarily have to say this to them, but in your mental, in your mind, you could think like that's why they start fucking up, right? You're not paying them, but then again, they should have walked away from the contract, right? That's what I would have done. So if it's a low ball situation, I think her name was Janelle. Let me see. Jordan, if it's a low ball situation, at that point, you just have to walk away from it, right? Don't pick it up and then cry about spoiled milk later, right? Don't pick it up and say, oh, we're not getting paid and what we should get paid. And we're basically doing it for free. And I have to do this site because, I'm not making enough money to put a body in here, or whatever the case is. Don't take the contract. But also, Jordan, don't be offended or don't feel some type of way if your numbers is just too high for their blood and they have to walk away. Okay. Again, you can always have a little special, give it, first month special, boom, you get the first month special. Again, I like to lock people in for 3 months and then after that, month to month. Some people do a year, 6 months. I don't like to lock people in, for a long. I don't. If you don't want to be with me, I'm fine with that. You don't have to be with me, right? I'm okay with that. Just give me a written 30-day notice and boom, we'll be out of there, right? If I can try to save it, I will try to save it. But if they just don't want us to whatever, okay, cool. This 30-day notice and it's no pressure. Okay. So again, I like to give 3 months, not a problem. Yep, 20% off. Yep, you can do 20% off, 15% off. You can do half off, whatever you want to do, 10% off. First month cleaning, third month cleaning, right? I like to use third month because I like to at least be there for 3 months and get that 3 month of revenue coming in. And then I use the free window cleaning or free carpet cleaning, or you can do gutter cleaning if you, whatever job you want to source, right? Uh, you can power washing. You can get a power washing company, power wash the building now and get it ready for the different seasons. All the snow, all the season. Power wash the building, right? Get it kind of clean and get it ready for the spring summer season, whatever the case is. Okay, but you can kind of write it up, in that regard. You let them know, hey, you stay with us for a year, 6 months, or whatever you say, and you're up for free carpet cleaning, totally on the house, totally on us, right? Oh, that's fine, great, because we were looking for a carpet cleaning, this and that. They're excited, but then you already got that 6 to 12 months worth of you got that 6 to 12 month worth of revenue that came in. And then if you're thinking smart, this is not going to be your only contract. This is not going to be your only contract. You're going to have other contracts, that you're still looking for throughout the course of the winter, right? So by that time, you're making it up in volume, right? You're making it up in volume. Like Walmart they're not worried about just pricing one high item. Walmart makes its billions by volume. Okay, by volume, they want asses to come into the stores. They make it by volume. They make it up in volume. So they charge a little cheaper because they got more people that's going to buy it. Okay, so it's supply and demand, that type of thing, however you want to look at it, right? But that's where Walmart make a lot of, that's where they make the money. They make it up in volume. They bring butts into the store, right? On a weekly basis, monthly basis, annual basis, right? So again, guys, I mean, you want to be strategic behind it. Like I say, this is why I suggest that you guys do the coaching with me. I prefer you do the 12-month coaching with me, because you have a whole 12 months with me. You don't have to deal with Jasmine or Alexis or assistants or anything like that. Whatever your paperwork is, I could take a look at it and I could kind of help you with your own paperwork, right? You don't even necessarily got to buy mine. Whatever, the lead generation comes with that. Okay, we don't sell it no more by itself, because I got overwhelmed by, I got so many people that came through just for the 3 month lead generation, that I cut that off. So you don't even see it on the post no more, right? Well, I took it off. Okay, but if you come through with the 12-month coaching, then the lead generation, 6 months of it is included in there. Okay, so we still keep it going on that end. I would suggest, if you guys interested, I would suggest you definitely email us at Hollywoodjanitorialserv@gmail.com. If you don't want to do the 12, do the 6. 6 months is what, 375. 6 months, you can make that back in 30 days, right? In 90 days, right? You can do way more than that, right? It just depends on you again. But don't do it and then sit on your ass. Again, that goes back to like what I was talking about with my mentors, my coaches, right? They give me the information, I have to execute on it. Okay, so again, I will be able to help you guys out, I'm sure. And there's so much more that I could talk about that I'm not going to talk about. Even if you look at the rest of my videos, you're still able to make a phenomenal income, even if you didn't come in any program, right? If you just looked at my YouTube and all my videos and took notes and really study, you still be able to make a massive amount of money, right? But again, you don't want to, and another thing, guys, you don't want to focus on the money. The money is important, right? Because you need that to build your business and to grow yourself and the profits and all of that. The money, but you want to focus more on providing a great service. The money will come as a byproduct of a great service that you offer. When you focus directly on the money, you get to making impulsive decisions about money, right? You're going to take low deals, low jobs, right? Be it residential, be it commercial, right? You're going to get in there. You're going to be cutting your teeth with it. Your employees, you're not going to be able to pay them much. Why? Because they told you $1,000 and you don't even have $1 today. So $1,000 sounds good, right? Over the next 30 days, to know that you have $1,000, it sounds good to you. So you like, okay, bet, I'm gonna take this up, right? But just because it's $1,000 don't mean it's the best fit for you and your company right now. So you have to be willing to turn it down, right? Turn it away if it's not a good fit for you and your company. Don't take $1,000 job that really should be $1,500 is basically what I'm saying. Okay. But some people, well, they say, "Fuck, you know what, Fabian? Probably I knew I shouldn't have took that because whatever." But man, I need money bad, bro. So, and people told me that I need money bad. That's why when you, even with my coaching, and I keep referring back to it, when I help them with their numbers, I try to get all the information that I need to get from them because I'm not there. I didn't do the walkthrough. So I need you to take very precise notes, get very precise information from them. So when you come back to me, we kind of take a look at the paperwork and what you have. I can help you to craft a bid as if it was mine, right? Again, that don't mean because I helped you with it that you're gonna get it. Let's put that out there, guys. Okay, but I have a pretty good grab on it. And if you watch this video back and kind of listen at how I kind of broke it down earlier on in the video from qualifying them, right? I took some notes here, to asking questions and listening, qualifying them. Again, you tell them that your bid is good for 30 days, right? These are certain things that will cause them to take action, right? They, or at least get them thinking like, okay, I got 30 days. They might call you in 15 days and say, okay, you know what, Fabio, we had other companies we was taking a look at. We decided we think we want to go with you guys. You were very professional when you was here. We got a good feel about you, whatever the case is. Okay, so I'm trying to get you guys set up to the point where you don't have to play tic tac toe with them, whereas like the cat chasing the mouse type of thing. So many people I talk to that's even not even in my coaching, and some is in my coaching, right? They say, well, I'm just waiting for the phone call. Why are you waiting for the phone call? It's already 2 weeks in, and well, they said this per it shouldn't be 2 weeks in, guys. You need to get if it's a good fit, let me know. Don't waste my time. Just let me know if it's a good fit. If it's not a good fit right now, or we too high, if you can work with the price, work with the price if it's possible. Okay, if you can come down a little bit without selling yourself short, you still got taxes, you got payroll, you got business expenses, you got personal expenses, right? So you got these different things that you have to pay. So you have to make a certain dollar amount, right? Again, you'll ultimately start making it up in volume, right? As you pick up more contracts, you get more contracts. But again, if you got a minimum base that you need to make on each contract, then stick to your guns with that. Okay. Now, again, this could vary depending on the individual, because if you knew, you might feel like I don't have a minimum base right now. I'm just going to take each account and I'm going to look at each account individually, right? And that's fine too. But then as you grow, you want to have some type of standard for your business. Like me, I have a minimum balance that a dollar amount that I need to make, that I want to make, a minimum dollar amount. Okay. And if they can't meet that, if I can play with the figures a little bit and help them out, I will. If I can't, I have to walk away from it. And once again, that's just whether they calling me off of maybe a Google AdSense situation, or off a flyer, or whatever the case is. We send them out a direct mailing piece. Okay. Whatever the case is, once they call, that's a good thing, right? Because they're looking, if they're calling you, sometimes they find you on Yellow Page or however they find you, right? They call, that's a good thing. Now you have to qualify them. You have to make sure that you working with them is a good fit. Once again, guys, you qualify them over the phone. Okay. Jot down a few notes. Again, you don't want to try to spend 45 minutes over the phone with them. That's not the key ideal thing to do. I would suggest. Okay. So you get a little intel from them over the phone, and then you set yourself up to go and do the walkthrough. The walkthrough, once again, once you go in, you show up for the walkthrough. Okay. You meet Dr. Such and such, or Mr. Smith, whoever, right? You meet them. Make sure, again, over the phone, make sure they set some time aside for you. Okay. You want to make sure you have some type of rules, because you don't want to get there and you got to deal with, Jessica interrupting them and this person interrupting them. You need that time set, because if he forget to tell you you were supposed to clean that corner, and you give him a quote for everything, and then you don't touch that corner, he's going to say, you guys not doing your job. You're going to say, well, Dr. Such and such, or Mr. Such and such, you didn't say do that. We would have written it up. It would have been part of what we had written down here. We don't even have that nowhere in the notes. You didn't tell us that. You might have meant to tell us, but you didn't tell us that. Okay, so you need that person undivided attention. And that's what I ask for when we doing lead generation for my company, for me to go out and do the stuff that I'm telling you. It's the same thing my people already know to do, right? We got to set up a certain amount of time, right? And I need their undivided attention because I want to make sure when I put the numbers in that we don't have to double back or amend any bids or any proposal or any estimates. I don't want to amend anything. I want to make sure I get it right the first time. Okay. Again, if you can get those numbers, get the numbers, get the budget. Okay. Get between figures if you can, a roundabout figure if you can. If you know what the current company that they have is paying, get that number so you will know if you're on the right track, if you can meet that number based on what needs to be done, or if you need to go a little bit higher. You let them know, okay, well, great, based on what company A is doing it for, I know absolutely we won't be able to do it because it's too low based on what needs to be done in the facility. Okay. Again, a lot of things go into putting your numbers together, right? The workload, okay, about how many employees, right? The man hours, okay, how many days a week? Is it an everyday thing? Is it a day porter and an evening cleaning situation? You got some companies like that, right? They need you in the day, and then you have a second split shift that come in the evening and clear it out. And a lot of industrial buildings, the contracts that I like to go after have this type of thing where we have a day porter in the daytime that's working while everybody is there, and then they have a second shift to come in maybe in the afternoon and kind of clear it out, more towards the end of the evening shift or whatever the case is. Okay, so again, this is a way that you guys can put everything in perspective and be able to get the best numbers out of this particular company A or what company B or whatever the case is. Okay. Again, if you're able to do it, do it. If you're not able to do it, walk away from it. Okay. If you just know for a fact we can't come down on this price, then don't come down on the price. Or if you say, what, I'm willing to give you a first time cleaning for this, I give you a special for that price, right? And you can do the deep cleaning for that price, but you say such and such. After that, you're going to have to do, we're going to charge X, Y, and Z, whatever the other price is. Okay, which is fair, right? We can do it, your first cleaning, we do it for this, right? Because we're grateful, we appreciative that you gave us a chance. Another thing you guys got to do is ask for the sale. You have to ask for the sale. I like to tell you to ask for the sale at the time that you present your estimate, you permit your bid. Okay, I like to kind of show them mine, right then and there. I don't like to just kind of hand them some paper and say, hey, take a look at it and let me know, right? Because then they'll throw it in the basket and say, okay, great, we'll let you know by Friday. Okay, and then they don't let you know. Right now, you got to call them and they say, you know what? Can you resend it, or can you bring it back, or send it to us email? Because I'm not sure exactly what I did with it. So I like to ask them right then and there. And this is on the residential or commercial. Okay, either or, right? You ask them right there so you can get clarification. When you take it back, hi Jessica or whoever the gatekeeper is. Great, I'm here. I have to bring the estimate in to Bob. I need to speak to him. I just want to make sure that everything lined up based upon what we talked about. I just want to make sure, we answer any questions that he has. Sure, great. Can you have a seat right here? I'll get him. He's on a conference call right now. Do you have about 20 minutes? Yeah, not a problem. 20 minutes. Okay. And I'll sit there and I'll wait 20 minutes, checking emails, observing everything, whatever the case is, whatever you got to do. Okay. But you want to make sure that Bob get it, right? If he's supposed to get it, you want to make sure Bob get it. I would be a little leery giving it to Sherry at the front desk. Say, Sherry, give it to him. And that doesn't mean she won't give it to him. I'm just not knowing when she's going to give it to him, or if he's going to get it, right? Or maybe she's going to forget. Her day even got hectic. She got a lot of stuff on her desk. Maybe it's tucked under somewhere, right? I don't know that if I leave, but if I'm there and I talk to him and I personally put it in his hand, then I kind of know. Especially if I say, I'm gonna get it to you within 24 to 48 hours, right? You can even give them a prep call, just a reminder email, shoot an email to them, or give them a call, before the time, if you're supposed to be there by 10 a.m., call them at 8 o'clock. Hi, Sherry, this is Fabio at Hollywood Janitorial. Just wanted to give you a reminder that I'll be coming in. I don't do that too often. I have done it. I'm just kind of letting you guys in on it, but You can give him a reminder call. I'll be in. Just want to give you a reminder that I'm supposed to be in today by 10 to see Bob. I'll be definitely in by 10. Okay, Fabio. Yep, I remember you. Okay, great. We'll see you when you get here. Bye. And it's just that simple. Now it won't always run smooth like that, guys. It won't always run smooth like that. Okay, so just know that I'm kind of give you, an idea how it might go. Okay, but again, whether you call and give them kind of heads up that you still, you haven't forgot that you will be in by 10, or whether you just get there by 10, you want to make sure that you get it in his hands. Okay, you want to make sure now if he's not in the office or he didn't come in, he was supposed to be in, he didn't come in, then you could leave it and then follow up and say, hey, what time, Bob? Well, he was supposed to be here today, but he had a family issue, so he's not going to be here today. He should be back tomorrow. Then great, I'm going to follow up tomorrow and say, okay, Sherry, can you please make sure you get this, and I'll follow up with him tomorrow. Yep, Fabio, I got it. I'll take care of it. Matter of fact, I'll just go put it right on his desk, so when he come in, he'll see it. Whatever the case is. All right, guys. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain them. Again, this is somewhat kind of how a coaching to go for me. It's a little bit different because I kind of like to cater to everybody. Different situation here. Let me see here. Jace. 1 month ago, major property management move in and out for 120 unit. 1 and 2. Let me see here. 1 and 2 other. Total 560 units. Motivated listening. You drive my business lead. Great, man. Just keep going. Keep going, bro. Keep going. Again, guys, the countdown is on for for these programs and paperwork and all of that stuff. If you're interested, email me at Hollywoodjanitorialserv. I want only the serious people. Okay, I don't do it because you're thinking about doing it or you feel under pressure. I'm not trying to pressure you. Do it because you're ready to change your 2020, right? You don't want it to be the same as your 2019. Okay, I brought the prices down to the bare minimum that I could possibly bring it down to, right? My goal is to work, hand on hand with you guys and try to, turn things around for you. Try to either help you grow or help you expand your current situation. Okay, let me see who else. What's the difference between appointments and leads? That's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. But appointment is just where you just set up an appointment. The leads is a potential customer, potential client. You would consider that person a lead, whether it's a lead that you kind of went after, maybe a cold call lead. Maybe a lead can be somebody referred you to somebody that would be considered more or less of a warm lead, or a lead could be somebody that called you from the yellow pages or from your website or whatever the case is. It's all a lead until you convert it into a sell, and you convert it into a sell. Okay, so an appointment is just something that's set up, to do the walkthrough, so you can put in your numbers, right, to be able to close the sale, to be able to get the sale, to get the contract. Okay, so that's all appointment is. The appointment is just something for you to set up an initial meeting to be able to present your numbers. Okay, let me see. Here's the marketing cleaning model homes. We have a lot of new homes built in Colorado. Okay, great. Jordan, she said a lot of new homes. Thank you. I needed this. Great. Janelle, let me see here. Okay, thank you. I like it. First month cleaning at 20% off. Yep, first month cleaning 20% off. Sign up now. Yep, you can use that. Nice. Power washing is a great idea, right? That's a great idea. And the cool thing is you don't even have to have the machines. If you don't have the machine, Jordan, you can always rent the machine. You rent the machine and you still write it off. You just keep your receipts. It's a business expense, or you can just contract the work out. Let me see. At Fabio. So when you quote them at the walkthrough, the verbal, do you write some things down on pen and paper? Then sign the actual contract at a later meeting. Yeah, well, when you do your walkthrough, you're just collecting data, you're just collecting information from them so you can present your numbers for you to present your numbers, right? You want to take it back home. You want to run through everything with a fine tooth comb, right? And that's going to help you formulate your numbers. You formulate your numbers based on, the workload, about the man hours in terms of how many people you're going to have to hire, about how many days a week. Is it a day porter or just evening cleaning? All of these things is a factor. If they have extended cleaning, right, that's just different in your company than just general cleaning, all of that stuff is a factor. You put that stuff together with tax included. Because you got to pay taxes. You got to pay taxes. So you want to put the tax included uh, in the quote, right, and then give them the grand total, right. You itemize everything, however you structure, excuse me, structure it or set it up. You just itemize everything. Boom, boom, boom. Taxes. Boom, boom. Grand total is, right, and then you present the numbers to them. Uh, that I normally say get to them within 24 to 48 hours. So this is after you do the walkthrough, 24 to 48 hours after you do the walkthrough, go ahead and present the numbers. You can ask them if they have a preferred way that they like to receive it. If they say no, I would personally suggest that you take it back to them. If they say yes, just fax it over to me. I would prefer to receive it in a fax, then fax it. If they say I would prefer to receive it in an email, then email it. Me personally, I like to take it to them personally because I know they got it at that point. When you fax something, it could be lost in the shuffle. Not all the time, guys, but I'm just afraid that, and I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time. I want you to look at the numbers and then let me know if it's a yay or a nay, right? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time, right? But I do want you to make sure that they're open for you calling them back in the future. So you can ask them. I understand, Todd, that is not a good time for you right now to hire our company. Would it be okay, Todd, if I call you back within 3 months or within the next quarter? Would it be okay if I call you back as a follow up just to see where you're at in terms of commercial cleaning? And generally speaking, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you yes. Okay. Yes, it's okay to give us a call back. Give us a call back then and we see where we're at. A lot of times, based on the way you presented yourself on a walkthrough and the way that you dealt with them overall, a lot of times they'll never forget you and they'll wind up calling you back before then. So they might have another company that's a little bit more cheaper, but it's just something about your personality. It's just something about you. It's just something about the way you presented your company. It's just something maybe about your shirt, the way you were dressed. It's just something about you and the way you presented you and your company that stood out, that had them to call you back before the 3 months or call back before the next quarter, right? Sometimes they'll ask the gatekeeper, well, what do you think about Fabio? How do you feel about him? Well, I like him. He was very respectful. He was very professional. He was here on time. He was prompt. I feel good about him. He seems like a great guy. Maybe you should give him a shot. Give him a shot. You know, Sometimes they do that, right? They talk amongst each other. Okay. So you want to keep that in mind, guys. That's why I tell you to be sharp when you go in there. I need my ladies to be professional, be dressed professional, be well, right? Have a little swag about yourself. Don't be overly confident, right? But just have a little, little umph to yourself, right? Hold your head up high. Same thing with my fellas, go on their profession, not sagging your pants, not extra saggy, not with the loose belt and all of this stuff, guys. I need you to be tidy, right? I need you to be nice and put together, man, like you some type of male model to a certain degree. You don't have to have a three-piece suit on, right? You can just have a button-up shirt and a nice pair of khakis, but I need you to have it put together. Okay? So be professional. Look the man in his eye. Shake the man's hand. Shake the lady's hand. Look her in her eye. All of this stuff come to play. Okay? Your your tonality, right? Your body language, all of that, how you deal with them, right? All of that come into play, guys. Is all part of the process, right? Some people have it naturally, like I'm one, right? I have it. Look, I'm charismatic to a certain degree, right? But then some people can cultivate it. But if you don't go out there and you don't try to, solicit and try to pick up new contracts, or you do Google ads, you do Facebook ads, or whatever, how you do direct mail marketing campaigns and different things, if you're not out there making yourself visible, you're not going to even get the chance to get in front of anybody. If you're not making the necessary phone calls, if you're not doing the follow-ups, if you're just waiting for people to call you, like, people wait for people to call them on a job. They don't do that anymore. You got to do follow-ups. Even when you're looking for a job these days, you put in the application. It used to be a time they call you back within 30 days or 60 days or whatever. Now you have to follow up and say, hi, yes, my name is Fabio Hart. I'm just seeing where I'm at with the application process. I put an application in on the 1st of last month, and I'm just, doing a follow-up. Oh, well, we have an orientation coming up, Fabio. Would you be able to do orientation on next Tuesday? Sure. I'm glad I called. That's what you're thinking. I'm glad I called, right? But maybe they may not have called you, by the time next Tuesday come for orientation. Who knows? But at least you called. So now she put your name. Okay, Fabio, I got you. Fabio, and can you spell your last name for me? Great. Okay, I got you down here. Just remember to have this and this and this. I'll be here next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Okay, great. I'll be there. You know, that's how jobs work these days, guys. They really not, you got to follow up. So again, if you don't put yourself in that position to even put your numbers in, to even get to the building by making the calls, trying to get the initial meetings with them, this is residential or commercial, then you're going to have a hard time, right? If you're not a people person, you're going to have a hard time. Okay. So again, guys, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to entertain them. State does require the taxes. If your state does require sales taxes cleaning, companies you have to obtain a seller's permit, you can't just add sales tax without a permit for your company. Yeah, I mean that's all part. Well, every state is different, so you can't say that about like every state because every state's tax laws is different. However, most states is like that, but that would be something that you already know to do. That'll be already something that part of your startup process, right? When you start up your business and your DBA and the taxes. And this is why I tell people a lot of times to call the IRS because again, every state is different when it comes to tax laws. Okay, like Nevada is a whole different operation, right? Like Boston, Mass is a whole different operation, right? So again, the tax laws could vary state to state, but if you're not sure, do some research on the tax laws in your area, or at the very least, call the IRS about your area. Let them know what you got going on, and they can help you with that. They can tell you what needs to be done, or you can go to yourstate.gov, and a lot of times it's on your local government site in your state. So if you're in Vegas, Nevada, I'm sorry, if you're in Nevada, you type in www.nevada.gov or whatever the case is, anything.gov, michigan.gov, right? And a lot of times all of that information is on that site, okay? But every state is operating different, okay? So, but you just want to make sure you know for your state. But you do want to include the taxes in there, right? So you don't want to just give them a flat fee and just say, okay, boom, this is this, because then the taxes are going to come out of your profit, right? If it's not, if you not haven't included the taxes in there, it's going to come out of it's got to come out. You got to pay taxes, whether you show it on an itemized, whether it's itemized or whether it's just something that's lumped into your total figure. You gotta pay taxes regardless. So, and they're gonna hold you responsible for it. But I do agree that you should know it. Yeah, if your state required. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's different in each state. Some states don't even require it. You know, so again, but you do want to do the research. I don't want to be an accountant, in that regard, because I could be misleading you. So you do want to make sure you know exactly what the qualifications is for your state. See, guys, thank you, Fabio, for your time. You appreciate it, Leslie. Thank you. Uh, Once again, congratulations to Jace Enterprise. Thank you guys a lot, man. I really appreciate you guys. I wanted to get this out to you guys. It's a lot of valuable information here. And like I say, guys, this is just the way that I do it. This is how I'm able to get the contracts. I, I get franchises to call me. I get franchisees that call me, like master franchise in my area that call me. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, I had a call from Anago in my area. They're out of Southfield. I guess that's where their main office is. And anyway, I took a call from them. So I get calls from them all the time, right? From different franchises, independent cleaners, you know. So again, guys, like I say, this is just the things that work for me. And I'm sure it could work for you if you apply it. If you need to replay this video back after it ends, replay it back, take some notes. If you feel like coaching is necessary for you, I would suggest that you get it, whether it be a 12-month program or a 6-month program, right? Again, the lead generation is cut off. I've cut that off already. I have, for what I was charging for that, I have a significant amount of people. So the only way you can get any portion of the lead generation if you get my annual program and then it's included with the 6-month lead generation. The paperwork, all of that stuff is still available for those that want it. So yeah, February 15th is the last date that I'll be offering it. So once again, February 15th, what's today, the 21st, it's after midnight, January 21st. So we don't have much time. Okay, so again, I want to also thank the people that have joined the coaching. You can get the book and the coaching ASAP, right? Again, it's on you guys to book the coaching with me. Um, if you get the annual program, you get my personal phone number where you'll be able to hit me up at will. Just call me or text me. The coaching part goes through Jasmine or Alexis to set up for the coaching because that's a set time slot that we have to set aside. But if you have a quick question or you get a bump in the road or whatever the case is, you want to do a walkthrough and they said something that you never even heard me talk about, which sometimes happen, you can give me a shout, give me a call. Fabio, how would you handle this situation? I generally, it might be something that I know about, or if I don't know about, I can get the answer for you and be able to get it back to you. Okay, so, uh, yeah, I think it'll be a beautiful thing. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and get your questions out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions real quick. You're welcome, Jordan. You're welcome, most definitely. You're welcome. Anthony, I see Anthony doing pretty good. Long time subscribers doing good. That's good. Leslie, you appreciate it. Appreciate you. Janelle, yeah, I hope you apply pressure, Janelle. Jace, I'm really excited about you. My guy, DJ the Boss, I salute. Doing this thing. O'Neil, doing your thing. Keep grinding, guys. Keep grinding. Rubik from Taiwan. Ricardo. Wonder what's up with Ricardo. Haven't heard from him in a while. But again, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them out to me. I did want to get this off. Again, I'm trying to be a little bit more transparent with the content. Like I say, it's a lot of stuff that, um, I mean, again, people don't even apply vast majority of the stuff that I talk about here on the videos. And I seem to get a better response when they come through a coach, when they come through something that they got to pay for. They seem to act on it a lot faster, a lot better, right? How often do you do these lives? The lives is generally scheduled, Jordan, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This was really impromptu that I came live. I will be back tomorrow as scheduled with something totally complete and new. If you guys have any live ideas, just email me. Put lives in a subject line, and just type your live idea. Then Jasmine or my assistant Alexis will be able to get it over to me, and I'll take everything into consideration. If I don't have an idea already, it'll just open up a lane for me to get more content over to you guys and get your questions answered, or get what you guys need answered. Okay. But you guys have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain them. But if you follow what I talked about on this live and you kind of use that, right? Again, you play this back, you kind of use that, you will get more contracts. You got to be consistent, though. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. You got to make the phone calls. You got to go door to door. You got to send out the mailings, right? And this is on both sides. On the residential, you use Google AdSense. You open up your Google AdSense account. You use Facebook marketing. Facebook marketing work well for like carpet cleaners, for window cleaners. Facebook marketing work well for residential cleaning, right? And the ad, it doesn't even, you can set a budget, $300, 250, $200. Start there with a small campaign. You start getting a little traction. Your phones get to ringing. It's just up for you to go and set it up and close it, get the job, right? So you got to make you get the conversion, you got to convert it. So when they call in, you got to convert it. You got to be able to go and do your walkthroughs and give them a proper estimate of whatever you got going on and close the deal. You have to convert it. Same thing when you go and do a commercial cleaning job, carpet cleaning job, window cleaning job, gutter cleaning job, power washing cleaning, parking lot cleanup job. However you market, you have to convert it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money if you can't convert. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money if you can't convert. You have to convert the prospect and have them become a paying client. Okay? So again, that's the object of the game. I gave you guys my formula that if you watch my old videos, some of the old, I've never kind of mentioned how I broke it down tonight. Since you seem to have such a big operation, have you thought about No, I don't. Franchising would be a nice way to build more revenue, and I thought about doing it, but I don't know. I think I just like the way I'm going, because the way I'm to be honest, man, the way I'm going, like with my mentors and my coaches, to be honest, I got other things on the table, and I'm kind of thinking long term and really huge about my commercial cleaning business. And I can't say really, to be honest, that I want to even be doing cleaning in the next 5 years, because I feel like I have it down to a science. I'm feeling like within the next 5 years, I've been sold the company, built it up massively, and sold it within the next 5 years, and that's through Georgia, Ohio, and Michigan. So um, it just come a lot easier to me now. In my area, in my section, in my little section, I done build myself like a little brand. So a lot of times it come a lot easier to me. And yeah, I just don't think that franchising, because I'm not even sure that I would want to, like I said, I'm not even sure I would want to even be in the industry in the next 5 years. I'll probably been so flipped and went into something totally different than commercial cleaning. Or, I don't even want to do the like this coaching. That's why I'm cutting the coaching off. I don't even want to do that anymore, because it's not even profitable for me. And the type of clients that I feel like I need is somebody that's making a significant amount of money. And I know most of my viewers, most of the people on YouTube, the revenues isn't that high to be able to pay me what I feel like I'll be worth. And that being said, knowing what I can help them make based on what they invest, right? So, you know, but I thought about it at one point, Anthony, but I don't think it's anything that I can foresee myself doing from a long term. But it would be money into it, though. It'd be a lot of money, into it. But then my name is on the line. Like I wouldn't want to be so big that I turn out like one of these other guys, where we start off great, we providing great service across the board from north to west, from north to south, west to east, and then okay, so I got people all over the country, buying into my franchise, and then my name get effed up because then I'm gonna feel some type of way because I hold myself at a higher standard, right? And I'm not gonna be able to govern that, even if they follow my system. I'm not gonna be able to go. You should make training tapes and sell them. People don't listen to that anymore. Courses don't sell like that, to be honest. Courses don't sell like that. A lot of times people buy that and they shelf it. It got a pretty picture on it, pretty covers on it, and stuff like that. People, I mean, you can rarely get somebody to listen to an audio book or to read a book. They just don't sell like that. you know People would rather look at a YouTube video, something real quick, get their answers, and then go ahead and try to execute on that. But I do believe self-development is still at an all-time high, and information itself, selling information, is still at an all-time high. But I do think as long as it's digital, like like courses, like maybe the let me see, you think about, I guess I'm old school. Yeah. Well, people gonna still make courses, and people still gonna buy courses. People buy courses every day. That's an income stream for a lot of people, right? But courses, depending on what type of course, right, is a lot put in, and generally those the courses these days don't even cut a profit. Generally speaking, a lot of these courses don't even cut a profit. But in production and producing them and putting them together, it take a significant amount of money, time, and effort, and then it really don't make the profit that it probably should make. But yet people just still offer it. But usually, if somebody offering a course 9 times out of 10, I'm willing to gamble that they got something else going on, right? In terms of revenue streams, they're not just selling courses. They're doing real estate, and then they happen to sell a real estate course, or they're doing commercial cleaning, and they got a commercial cleaning course or something like that, right? Like coaching, like if I was just dependent on coaching and paperwork, selling paperwork, and just this shit, I'll be up the creek without a paddle, right? Like the money that I made from that goes into my marketing campaign just for my business, right? For me to be able to market myself and have that revenue flip a while, take that revenue and put it with other revenues that I have working for itself, right? Because I got other things going on where my money is making money. So, and I learned a lot of that stuff through my people, my mentors. You think LinkedIn is a good market? Yeah, I like LinkedIn. That's a good platform. I'll be able to do videos about managing your company across state lines, particular coaching. Yeah, I mean, I talk about it in the coaching. It's nothing different. The only difference is if I could just sub it up for you real quick. The only difference is you just have to learn each state, rules and regulations and guidelines. But once you know this stuff, you can take this anywhere and apply it. It's just like real estate, right? So if you're buying houses out here in Michigan, you can go to Illinois, you can go to California. The only difference is the market is going to be a little bit different. So you got to learn the market, you got to learn the tax, you got to learn zoning, or you got to learn, just the policy and procedures in the different areas. But you'll be able to sell a house anywhere once you know how to properly, sell a house. Same thing with commercial cleaning. Once you know how to build a commercial cleaning in your area, you can take it across state lines. You just got to, re-register business. You can't say, "Well, I'm registered in Las Vegas, in Nevada, and I'm gonna just go to Michigan and do it." It doesn't work that way. You just register in Michigan, boom, bank account, boom, boom, same thing, boom, have it going, apply it, build it up, right? All of that stuff, you know, the procedures is about the same, right? It's the only different things that change is the section of of the country that you're moving into, right? You just got to get to know that state laws and just that area of the country, if you will. But yeah, but I talk about it in the coaching. I mean, a lot of times, mostly people ask me, how do I run it on autopilot? And how am I in one state and I'm able to run it in Ohio and Georgia? So that's kind of where I kind of beam in on for the most part. You guys got anything else? Let's see, what time is it? It's 1:03. I'm good on time. Guys got anything else that you want to ask me that we need to talk about? Let me see. Do you have to relocate? I would suggest. I would suggest because, like when I did it, when I moved to VA and operating in Portsmouth and Virginia Beach, I stayed there. Toledo, I stayed there. Stone Mountain or Georgia, ATL, I stayed there. I just asked you a new question. Yeah, I'm answering it. You talking about, do you have to relocate temporarily to a new state? Yeah, it'll be more than temporarily if you want to really, really build it up. Like when I moved to these different states, I lived in these states for a significant amount of time. And then I kind of grew the business up in those states. Like I stayed in Georgia for a significant amount of time. I stayed in Toledo for a significant amount of time, Michigan and VA. So I wouldn't necessarily call it temporary. Yep, yep. I stayed in there for a significant amount of time, and then then you once you got it built up and it's making money on itself, now it just comes down to delegating. You delegate it out. You get you some field supervisors, some people that can govern everything. You got to trust them, right? You got to train them. So all of these things are factors when you trying to set it up on autopilot and build it, right? Because you can't physically be there. So, but yeah, I talk a lot about that in a coaching. I got um, the only one that I know that's doing it that's very effective now that's really making money is and she's not even in my coaching anymore or do coaching, and that's Darnella, which is she worked with me early on, like years and years ago. She worked with me, and she started out in Chicago, Illinois. Um, Build it up in Chicago. She got like hotels that she cleaned there. She got other contracts that she cleaned there, and she moved to Florida. She's staying in Miami right now, but her business is still running in Illinois. So I showed her what I know, and she applied pressure. Right? She what I taught her, she did, and now it's working out for her. So I very rarely talk to her, but every once and again, and we shoot a call or a text to each other, email, something like that. But she's doing pretty good. Yeah, I was wondering about the trust factor. Yeah, delegating. Yeah, right. This is a family business. I trust everyone. Yeah, yeah. That's how it works. You guys have any more questions? Okay. All right, guys. It look like you don't have any more questions for me. So again, I'm going to end this with once again, reminding you guys that February the 15th is the cutoff date. I would suggest if you're interested in starting, start right now, ASAP. Email my people, tell them, hey, I need the coaching. Whether you get the 12-month coaching, the 6-month coaching, the paperwork. Again, we don't have any lead generation by itself. It does come with the 12-month coaching, so you don't even have to mention that the lead generation. But yeah, or you can get an hour coaching. You still have the hour coaching. To coach with me for hours is $150. It was $300 an hour, so I cut it half. So I marked everything down. There's no reason why you guys shouldn't take advantage of that. I would suggest that you do that ASAP. Why put off something for tomorrow that you can do today, right? Email me whatever you're looking for. Just put in the subject line whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for paperwork, put paperwork. You're looking for 12-month coaching, put that. 6-month coaching, put that. Um, because once it's done, it's done. I won't be offering any more coaching paperwork or anything ever after February the 15th. You won't hear me talk about it unless I'm referring you to somebody else. Okay, and I do got a few people in mind that I would refer you guys to, but I'm not going to even so much mention them until after my program ends. Okay, so and it'd be up to you guys at that point, right? But I'm still going to bring value on the videos. I would still help you with your numbers at no fee, because I get a kick out of that. I get a kick for somebody to give me some information, and I help them put their numbers together, and then they call me back and say, Fabio, thank you so much. I could cry right now. Like, I got the contract. They signed the contract. Like, I get a kick out of that. Like, I get a kick out. It's just something about that just grind my gears when I get those type of emails or those type of text messages. So I love doing that. Um, just know I'm not always right, and just know you won't always get it just because I helped you. So as long as you understand that, right? But again, you guys might definitely want to take advantage of that while it's still on the table. Um, I got more great content to come. I'm going to be tuning in with a lot of different things. I got a lot of different things up my sleeve too. But I don't want to kind of put it out there in the atmosphere right now because I don't want to get you guys so excited and so hyped up, and then you kind of like, when is this going to happen? So as time progresses, I'll definitely bring it to you guys for sure. Okay. Um, Other than that, I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. That's going to wrap it up. If you're not on my Instagram is Clean Up the Cash on Instagram. Clean Up the Cash, all one word. Clean Up the Cash on Instagram. You'll be able to go to my Instagram and just see me cut up over there. It's not much. I don't really do much over there. But if you're interested, you can go over there to Clean Up the Cash. Okay. Um, Other than that, guys, I think that's gonna do it. Make sure you like this video. If you haven't liked it, make sure you like my video. Make sure you share my video, whether you share it on your Facebook or share it on any platform, or whether you just tell your friend that might be interested in commercial cleaning. Just share my video, share the knowledge with them, right? Let them know that it exists. Okay, so they can start tuning in and getting the information that they need to get their business off and going, or get their business expanded if they're already in business. Okay. And again, guys, a lot of what I say is common sense. It's just not commonly practiced. What I talk about in my videos can work for any business, right? It's not just a commercial cleaning business. Okay. So I just want to kind of put that out there. But I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for now, guys. I will be back tomorrow. Again, if you have a video suggestion, email me at Hollywoodjanitorialserv. Serve is SERV. Hollywoodjanitorialserv, SERV, at gmail.com, with all your inquiries or, videos or requests. And I'll take a look at them and respond accordingly. So that's going to wrap it up for now, guys. Once again, I want to thank you guys. Hopefully this video helped you guys in some way. Again, this is the actual way that I tune in to get my contracts these days. Again, if you missed it and you came in at the end or the middle of the video, play it back, take some notes, go out and do what I'm saying. This stuff will work. You just got to apply it. Okay. The only person that ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you guys. Take care.